endurance in a BL5. As an inexperienced 5-player roster of Blue Water, they definitely have it. So right now to play against FlyQuest, I feel that confidence could still continue on over on this map. And they play this map in a very weird way, where both of their duelists, even if they want to play a snipe on the attack side, usually don't use it. They want to give it to Sin to try to open things up for them so they could double dive into these sites. So it starts off with a B-side push, rather.
Full stack 2, turret left behind, Thea left behind, has that first blood. Falling back behind that turret though is Melia, hoping to delay, take her one in this back hallway, because Trouble's around the corner, and that Trouble has been dispatched. Oh my god, throwing Blue Otter in disarray, already in the pistol. Melia dropping bombs as usual, meaning Blue Otter have to take a step back and respect it, especially after that knife was thrown from Jazzykins. Maybe enough time being bought for a flank to be exploited here from this fade, but doesn't matter. Blue Water is still gonna make the most out of this, and wow, they get dismantled on all fronts.
It almost seems like this game is gonna be a big game for both KJs across the board, because as much as I like to talk about Sin and how good she's been on defense as this KJ, Melia also has been superb as anchor players. And on top of that, pretty sure she was rotating from the link side to help out on Theo, who unfortunately once again gets caught out in the open on a beeline. And it's quite interesting of where she died, because it shouldn't be a common spot or a spot at all for you to jiggle towards the top B line to get information. So that kind of threw her off, but thankfully the rest of the team was there to help out. And Blue Water can't even get a plant, so they have to go for a full classic round to crunch into Predictor.
Oh, make it 4-0, 5-0! Oh, the full ace! Melia with an MVP-like performance already in round 2. Judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah, a little bit of a Timmy the turret help from that one to play the bait. Already saw that the rush was coming through, and now you're playing Judge at this range. It's pretty much GG. Got to give the assist as well from Ev. With that knife that goes in towards middle, there's no extra util that could get thrown in there, so it's such easy pickings for Melia. And look at this round. You're now going into their bonus round with 1 orb away from ulti. You're going to keep that Judge for sure. But you're also forcing Blue Water to respect mid control because of that Judge. So you're flushing him towards the extremities where Edith is holding with the Outlaw, where they're double pushing up towards that A main. And we'll see if they can hold things back now for FlyQuest and convert a bonus.
Dude, 8-0 after 2 rounds is just so unheard of. And if anyone who knows ball knows that Melia is the GOAT. Like when she played in VCT Spotlight, and even Austin in his interview was like, this girl's insane. She was dropping 30 bombs at the VCT Spotlight. Those were some good times, and she definitely is having an explosive performance for FlyQuest already. But just wait for Blue Water to buy up right here. This could be how they well, those expectations. Now more of a normal default Blue Water, but inserted. Oh, Edith. Well, that's a bullet in the chest of Sin for another first blood for FlyQuest.
Yeah, that was actually a nice headshot. That's a full one, like, because you had full shields on 4 players, and Sin was one of them. Yet the Outlaw still one-shots you from the headshot, so that's super nice. Not a drone forcing at least the fallback from the players of FlyQuest, but they still have players' advantage. And the map is so huge right now that it's so hard for them to rotate across. They need now the Astra to maybe make some sort of noise so that they could actually start moving towards the A main. Even in nice spots, the Euro towards that site. They could stay now 3 players towards A. This is not looking good here for Blue Water to convert this gun round that they have.
At least, it's not the worst case if it's your KJ dying. Can at least have a lot of offensive util, and Battison is lethal, but how about 7 seconds to plant? Blue Water's gonna get it done now. FlyQuest, small blood in the water, but they're really cut off by the wave of util that is stopping them from crossing over, and Ev has just confirmed a 4K at a distance. Wow, all behind that initiator as FlyQuest are still flawless in this half.
Yeah, you have an ace from Melia to a 4-pack from Ev, a Killjoy ult available in the next round. They are looking to come out strong in this second map and not try to make this as difficult for them. They are trolling a little bit here as you're dancing across with the spike the fuse, but nonetheless, we have to talk about the slight role changes too. As you were just talking about Austin praising Melia, Austin playing usually a KO on this map of Pearl for 100 Thieves. You see now the responsibility is now given to Jazzykins. instead of Ev going in the second map. And hell, it makes sense. Jeskin seems to be more of the flash specialist for FlyQuest. So if you're not going to need a Sky, she's probably going to play the KO so that Ev can play the Sova and the Fade for the other maps as your true scan initiator. So very cool that you're seeing these small changes coming out from FlyQuest as well, as much as Blue Water are also Swiss Army knives across the roles that they play through the players.
Full sheriff round for Blue Water. I think looking into the future, though, once you have a stronger buy, B could be a fight you'd want to take, because these pop outs with a sniper, whether it's Edith on B, Edith in mid, it's really troubled Blue Waters, make them hesitate on how to swing out from these corners. Maybe we'll want to invest more util, like have maybe a safer drone come out of Avery or something. You need a heads up on where Edith is, and that's going to be the objective going forward for Blue Water. But right now, it's make this round as less painful as possible. Spam down the smoke, though. Thea won't even let them live.
Can't even cross again towards that B side for Plant, so doing an excellent job. And for this round, at least, as they're running down that clock, they're at least able to identify that there's an outlaw going into the next round. So they'll have to be ready for that moving forward. I think that probably would allow for them to call a much faster tempo round in the next round for their weapon buy.
30 seconds left.
We'll just have to wait and see, as Avery is dwindling down in HP, about to get flanked and about to get picked off.
Just based on the macro here of FlyQuest, they, like the desk pointed out, they look so comfortable. And this isn't even technically FlyQuest's map pick, but we pointed out there it's a strong map for both of them. But it's been FlyQuest running amok, just, well, obviously having the better buy here so they can do whatever they want against sheriffs. But Edith, this is going to be like a lethal player to go up against if they continue to be able to have that op, which is now given to Melia. But Blue Water got to fight fire with fire, and their economy's not in a place to buy their own op, but in the future, that would be a consideration for sure.
So they are also dropping the outlaw for FlyQuest, going full rifles, expecting this push to happen. So they're playing fire with fire. Works out for these trades, and they have full control of A main now.
Just the spam through the smokes are just so well read for FlyQuest to get a lot of value out of those moments. I mean, Thea did just that in the last round, and they do so, winning this fight for the A orb.
Right here.
Ev will collect, getting them the Nightfall, and Blue Water are left to having a ton of kills registered, which is definitely going to slow their ult cycling and chances to not totally hemorrhage out of this first round. And Ev is feasting.
100%. Already have their Nightfall too in round number 6, so they, for the side of FlyQuest, basically becoming a side quest for Melia and Ev on how they're farming with these last few rounds, but they don't have to be forced to cycle these ults yet because they're just winning and these forward engagements against Blue Water. Again, I think it's just a nice pivot call from Thea in that last round, knowing that Blue Water potentially want to try to slam a little bit more quickly on sites, so they want to stop them into these early engagements. And it really caught Blue Water off guard, because you never really seen that A side engagement and aggression out of FlyQuest in the last 5 rounds, right? You saw a pistol round retake, a judge play on that second round, a passive anchor triple crossfire setup in their bonus round, and then you just saw what happened there when they played their next gun round against Blue Water's buy. So yeah, this is definitely an important timeout for the side of Blue Water, because so far from fast tempo to slow tempo and from extremity control to middle is all being shut down. And Melia has an Odin this time around, so you're starting to see also how she's a Swiss Army knife in terms of weapons. I wouldn't be surprised to see her set up towards Art and go for the Brock spam into A main, and that would be really detrimental for Blue Water players on that A line.
It was just so detrimental for Blue Water to not win the pistol here as well. They converted both pistols on split, didn't end up winning that, and dropped the 6-11 lead, or 11-6 lead up they had. But Blue Water also won both pistols against Wadada on this map, so this is already an adjustment that they have to make, and Blue Water already forcing Edith back. They have them tagged up, but the power of friendship works out. Edith still gets their one, and Ev follows through. Edith is not done yet. Man, the floor is soaked in blood, and it takes Katniss Everdeen over here to actually quell Edith. But Blue Water now smoked off from the site, so you still feel like you're going in blind.
Yeah, I got an alarm box to watch that too as you're walking across. Now you hear the Odin, you're like, yeah, I'm not crossing that line anymore. But the leg shot was already there at the beginning that heavily injured Madison. There's really nothing they could do trying to get that space towards Art. I mean, the back and forth from these players on the defense from FlyQuest was it continues to be exemplary in the past couple of rounds. Although this was a mixed bag of buys that you have for Blue after this timeout. It will not go down as a plant. As, yeah,
I can't hear you over this.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, can you hear me now? It's just,
yeah.
It's just getting a little bit too loud here towards this A site. No, nonetheless, if you're looking at how everything happened so far, though, they've been doing an excellent job for FlyQuest since they got rifles to really stop them in the 4 lines. There's only been 1 plant throughout the last couple of rounds here, all the rounds of this first half from Blue Otter, and that was when you had a rifle round against FlyQuest's bonus. But outside of that, man, these aggressive lines of the op, Edith continues to not miss from that first map.
And May is trying to set them up, like, she's placing forward smoke so they feel like they can safely move up, and then to deny maybe these sidelines from Edith or just the entirety of FlyQuest, and then you walk up and you get spammed through the smoke. They wasn't a comfortable A-orb fight for Blue Water last time. They're going to try and explore mid, which last time that was a Judge Ace. This is a different round. We've got different matters. Edith watches over with the op. We have a slow solo approach here for May, but conversion pass activated from Babison coming in at an off angle, and now the backline's being tested here for FlyQuest. Finally, a first blood. But Blue Water get traded out. This op is in the picture. In Blue Water, they're trying to get excavated. Well, wow, they are just floundering 6 feet under. Blue Water can't dig themselves out of that one until it takes 2 to pull off the heroics. The lockdown does detain Oasis, so Sin has to back them up.
No way.
Is more focused on Sin, trying to find where Oasis is, who is now freed from the shackles of a lockdown. Now a 2 versus 1, just when FlyQuest thought they had won. Blue Water have shifted the tides and now have cut noise. The spike is recovered, and Thea can just react to as soon as the spike gets planted. To worry about that nook, though, of the back hallway. We had that call of someone making it back there. Sin is trying to take a 1v1. 7-second drop. Oasis greets Thea with open arms, and Blue Otter get that round.
You gotta give it to Sin on how selfless she was, because you had no TPs back from Oasis. They get hit by the detain of the lockdown, and she's like, I need some help. So Sin just books it down towards that street, says to Thea, hey, look at me, focus on me, and then they're able to play a 2 versus 1 in the end as you stay tucked in towards Museum right there at that spot where you just saw May drop down from that kill from Ev. So a nice little answer back, though, from Blue Water. Again, I thought that this round was already a write-off for the side of FlyQuest because of how they were so good at getting their first bloods and kills. Let's hold that thought. We already have an ulti going into a split towards that B site, or a fake for them to finish towards the A site for Blue Water.
Oh, about to decloak. Okay, getting out. Oasis has done this on split. Just as soon as the round starts, immediate ult hit. And like I said back on split, I think there's reason to try and get more secure forward. Get as much space as you can so you can go deeper with the dimensional drip. Blue Water go for the safe play, go for the guaranteed information. FlyQuest at the back, find Madison in that tough position. Lockdown ensues. FlyQuest feeling like they have to fight through it. They already have Edith unlocked, but Sin silences the go.
Lockdown.
And now the lockdown has been destroyed. That is the saving grace, and Avery can just play the Hunter's Fury on the post plant. They're all stacked together, not the immediate pullout until now. The call from May, they're gonna commit to the defuse, and the Hunter's Fury suppresses FlyQuest. You got him dancing. Now it's time to squabble up, and Melia adjusts well. Defuse not gonna be held, and Avery sticks to their guns, and Blue Water with back-to-back rounds.
What happened there in a 2 versus 2, though? We were so slow first for Avery to pull out the Hunter's Fury, but secondly, we were sticking that spike and let it go just before it got to halfway. Did a finger slip? What happened there? That almost should have been a guaranteed defuse no matter what. Because if you look at it, what happened right after is that you were still able to hit one beam, if I'm not mistaken, before actually going for the defuse, and they probably could have full stuck it. I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know if there is a bug or something for the defuse, but that was a little bit unfortunate on how you played that 2v2 in the end. And it's Avery at least able to come out and clutch that against Jazzikins and keeps the game close now for Blue Water.
And this is Blue Water that just hit that old cycle. So you had the dimensional drift. You had they've used everything in the tank to get these 2 rounds. And this is post timeout where, yes, there's a resurgence of life from Blue Water, but can they get these rounds converted without those ults? Now FlyQuest will have Nightfall, maybe in Cosmic Divide coming up soon. So FlyQuest, they've put up such a good wall when it comes to their defense so far. They get a little pushed back by some ults, but I think FlyQuest could easily get back into a dominating position here soon.
I'm assuming right now as we have, okay, I thought it was a slow clock to try to see. I think it was a timeout still being called. That was being talked about here from the side of FlyQuest again. FlyQuest, sorry. But yeah, I gotta say they had to slow down the tempo a little bit more. It was another one of those games where you have one team that starts out quite strong and then suddenly it's starting to slip through from these small mistakes from maybe overconfidence maybe. Now FlyQuest are playing a little bit more silently but still aggressively. You're able to take down this line, take cover of this whole line with the op 2 from Edith, and now you could focus on a little bit more of mid presence.
I sense that nervousness though from Blue Water where you're just like tucking behind your turret, spamming through the mid door already. You are just trying to discover where Edith is before it is too late. This is a position that Edith has been before, usually paired with Ev. Ev will be solo. Look how careful with each step Blue Water are. We have Battison here too. Not going to be able to just immediately gap close. It's all contact plays. Battison, the first one. Nice little crouch. And it gets Ev 6 feet under. Now Blue Water. This is pedal to the metal as they advance into B. And here to stop it is Jazzikins already with the spike down, and it's traded out immediately.
Pulling them in. Found them. Killed my bot.
That's a lot on Melia.
30
Be
seconds
the backbone of this museum. Now too committed, and Melia just can't handle all the heat. And that means Blue Water are even safer and better than ever. Wondering how this momentum was gonna carry through without those ults, and do so well at just slowing it down and finding where these FlyQuest members are and getting those kills and then tempoing up.
It almost is redundant to how Blue Water were able to find a little bit of their successes on split. Slowing things down a little bit, defaulting, creeping down here towards the art as they get the first blood. A little bit unorthodox here at that moment. I wonder where that util was placed from the KJ. I got to look back at that, because if we don't have any util that sounds the alarm from an art creep up, we're leaving a little bit of gaps on how we're playing it. I think it was Melia fully set up towards a B-side anchor, if I'm not mistaken, which is why Edith is moving up towards the A line. But not having anything to find you some active information on art or anything towards the mid round. You got to be ready for these walkdowns for FlyQuest. A little bit of gaps here, and I think they're understanding that right now from FlyQuest. They want to play a little bit more safely, so they're going to go alarm bot, turret, watching both of the connectors, and then they could still go for the extremity control if they want to. So Edith now looking down that line with the operator on the top of the long B, and then they still go for the aggressive walk up towards the A extremity.
Oh. Melia's already been tagged. It's another kind of middle map spam from Blue Water. Just to make sure you keep FlyQuest humble on any of those early peaks. I mean, they did that a lot on split. Not needing to as much here.
Yeah, they were just trying to spam to get the alarm bot, and somehow Melee got hit through that.
There we go, they got it. Now Blue Water can lean on Oasis. Oh, no, that was just a clone. Never mind. But Blue Water can still just move forward off of, well, they've been good at identifying the solo positions of FlyQuest, being able to just 5v1 that player. See if they get lucky this time. I know.
Movement around the map is still pretty good here for FlyQuest, right? So you see after the reaction of losing Alarm Bot, I think that was a turret recall, if I'm not mistaken, unless he just got shut down from that walkthrough from May. But they're playing a lot more passively, but still making sure that they're covering their angles. That's what was missing from a couple of rounds ago. Yeah, there you go. So you recall that turret, you pull it back towards that spawn, and then you even eye towards Art to know that with 30 seconds left, nobody's taking mid control. This was supposed to take Edith ready for the off shot, but at least Melia is there.
Melia is so consistent with this B control too, is kind of always guaranteed to get her one and to get out. Blue Water have to overcome the 4v5 now with 11 seconds left, and it's a scrap and a beautiful flash and a swing as FlyQuest capitalize on their advantages. Madison will buy a bit more time, and Edith says time is up. FlyQuest now doubled the score.
And the passive play, letting Blue Water, play with the pressure of time. And you're seeing this mistakes come through. Even though they had a nice little pop flash at the beginning to take control of the top ramp, right now trying to go for the execution within B. Look at what happens after here. The TP, there's nothing supporting Oasis. I don't think there was even like a flash or a smoke that was well timed there for Oasis to TP. So those mistakes will start happening. So especially when it comes down to, oh, we flash, oh crap, there's an op there. Let's now tempo up. And as you tempo up, somebody has to go into Astra form. You have to play catch up for May. It's just unfortunate that you can't really catch up to the fast tempo of the Euro TP. And that really didn't allow Blue Water to have the cleanest of openings on that B slam.
Blue Water just quick to gate crash in and take a fight where no one is home. And I'm liking that change of spacing from Blue Water to not really cower behind smokes and try and close the gap as best as they can. That's where Oasis and Madison truly flourished on split, is when they can be aggressive and get in your face and switch in and out. Blue Water, nothing out of that besides some aiming control. And now that the knife was thrown, Oasis's solo position has been discovered. But FlyQuest know they're in trouble, and the Nightfall to stop the ensuing push from Blue Otter throughout the convergent pass and through this flurry of smokes. It's really hard to find these defenders, and FlyQuest spamming through the smoke will always get value. At least Blue Otter got the spike down. They can fall back to square one, and they're just not allowed to escape because FlyQuest have already started their retake. Blue Water's just trying to find any safe space and cover to hide behind, and they have been all removed. For costing FlyQuest 2 of their members, but the op is on the front lines, and so is Ev with a 3K. Great job from FlyQuest.
Dude, this is Harbor meta on crack. This is like 2023 meta of like a Harbor Viper slice off the map, but instead it's 4 Astra bubbles across the map, KO flashes off the wazoo, fade util on the cross, and you're just trying to survive World War 20,000 in there for all of the players. And through that chaos, look at that. This is a casual moment for sure on this A site. But thankfully, it's still power of numbers for FlyQuest. As soon as that util is finally disappeared, FlyQuest is able to have clear vision of what was happening within that site, and they made sure that they watch each other's backs, and they got the perfect entries there. There's nothing more to get on to that. A lot of the players for Blue Water were just trying to play offsite after the plant, and they just got caught off trying to find some safe haven in the end. But FlyQuest at 7-3, the knife gets information on 4 players of Blue Water, and they could just play far back and spam once again through smokes.
Blue Water, though, as the rounds have gone on, they've been able to comfortably get into the A site. It's just blasting. Oh my god, as the Cosmic Divide comes up, Madison's eyes shut. Another swift first blood, quick as lightning for FlyQuest. But I don't know if the spike is being planted. It's all, and now as they swing out, they realize Blue Water have changed their plans, and they're going to go to B.
And that's fine. As the plant comes down, there's still the big gap of where Edith is currently at. So if she hears to rotate back towards middle, she has a great timing to flank back towards that B main where exactly she's going. So with her speed, with the chaos now that you'll have from the CT side, Blue Water has to be good to trade off each other here.
Oh my god, FlyQuest, as good as ever. Not going to be shaken, not going to be stirred, and they have their positions. A little bit smoked off, but Sin has been flashed, so can't stop the entry. Edith on the flank. Oh, there's 99 problems, and Blue Water just got no solutions to any of them. FlyQuest will get the defuse, and it will be an 8-4 half in their favor. As dominant as ever, there was a resurgence of Blue Water after their first timeout to get 3 rounds in a row off of good ult economy. But it is hard to make FlyQuest look even scared on this.
Right already has a script, already calling overtime. You just saw that overlay at the bottom there. But
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, as you know here, that you have timing with the Cosmic Divide, that you have a lockdown. A lot of that utility has been supported on the A site. I think it would have been a nice call for them to add more pressure towards street or towards spawn. Flip that map around, because you've already rotated so many players through mid. You've already cleared through middle as well, and you haven't met any opposition. So you know right now that a lot of these players from FlyQuest are playing out towards that spawn. So you high-low, find ways to pop flash through that, and then triple swing. You don't have to push all the way back towards that spawn, but you could fight that staircase. That would have not given it any chance for Edith to get any value off with the operator. That said, though, we're going to round 13. I think the score is 9-3, if not mistaken now. And we have now FlyQuest trying to work out to break early Killjoy util. Killjoy util.
Adriel.
No, I was gonna say KJ Choi or whatever, the comedian, but whatever. I'm moving.
We'll get your hearing aid sorted out. FlyQuest, I'll get their plant sorted out too. But May is in the middle of a smoke. Do they know? It's a moment to get a surprise and gets the jump scare on Edith. Maybe the defense reestablished, but man, FlyQuest Sheriffs were doing work. Jazzykins has been silenced. 2v1 swing works out for FlyQuest, and it's a 1v1 to rule them all. And Ev, as consistent as ever, gives FlyQuest both pistols.
Yeah, in these high impact rounds, that's definitely needed for heroes to come out. Ev has been them for sure. We remember Split from before. This time around, we remember the 4K in the bonus round when they went for the swing with the Spectre to get a 4K. And now this time around with the pistol round clutch too. And now just to continue with those that are only listening now and paying attention to the casters, it's 10-3 as FlyQuest won that pistol. So they're going to have a really strong anti-eco here, already investing into an outlaw. Bulldogs too. Nobody going on pistols as well, so they're actually trying to go for a one extremity control with the snipe, staying as a group for the other extremity, trying to see where their stack could be, if there's going to be any aggressive blue otter pushes, but it stays calm for now. They're going to just regroup and re-hit now towards this B site.
We get to see the difference too of the double duelist versus the solo, and how Edith is going to try and close the gap. Not that we saw Battison, you know, dashing away, or Oasis gate crashing in too often. Both teams have been well balanced in their spacing so far, as FlyQuest just get to stomp the yard, get in. Walls are up from the neon. You just dodge some of these nades here, and FlyQuest have fully scoured the entire site, which is worrisome to leave Blue Water. The 5-person retake. They do have a lesser buy, so that's something you can go off of.
I think with a 9-3 deficit too, they probably don't want to let Ev farm some kills either, so not pushing out of this, I think, is a smart play. Try to contain as much as you could. Ooh. GC Sheriff does a 145 right to the dome of Edith, so they go for the meaty Bogdan launch. Nice shot by me. Okay, they're fighting this. They're fighting this. LK.
LK, yeah. Yup, fans, we're doing great. Outlaw, 2 bullets, 2 kills, and FlyQuest is just the firing squad. Melia is insane on pistols, by the way. Was it like a 4K, 3K last time? Now it's a 4K on this pistol.
Wait, you don't like the LK
23
call?
and 6.
You don't like
Okay,
we're homies, so I call you LK instead of Lemon Kiwi?
Yeah, you're trying to be hip. I like it.
We're cool like that. No, I thought we were cool like that.
That's why I got you with Vans. You know? Like,
oh, yeah, word. That works.
Yeah.
That's chill.
That's chill. Well, 11-3, guys. It's almost over, I promise.
At least for this map, then we get a little bit of a break for sure. But, I mean, right now, FlyQuest are playing it quite in similar fashion as I was trying to mention before, right? We remember when I was talking about Sin, usually the sniper for the team on the attack side. They're doing the same thing for Melia. Scope here in her hands, and they're clearing out towards the A site.
Damn, FlyQuest wastes no time, but May putting up some resistance here. Now find an alternate angle, but FlyQuest, they just deathball in any direction where they sense an opponent. And now we've cleared out a main, but lost control of the site, and it's also been smoked because of May, so have a weird position that FlyQuest are stuck in.
Should wrap around too. Right now, I like that we're walk clearing as well because Melia's down. There's no turret. There's no alarm bot. So you have full question marks across the map from where you even path through in the very beginning through art. So we're going to take the long route rather. And then as soon as it gets spotted by the turret, I think that will start accelerating the pace for FlyQuest, which is fine. You have Edith. You still have fast lane. You have Jazzikins that has one more flash that they could pop through the wall.
30 seconds left.
Remember the old school way of playing this map too, of walling all the way back towards the back halls and slide through with a pop flash? That could be definitely one of those plays.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
They're trying to lay as best as they can. Now Sin has been suppressed, hoping to get the one and done. 11 seconds, and wait, Edith just said, "Get down, Mr. President," and then they both die. That is not good. Sin has made this very winnable for Blue Water, and wow, Blue Water come back from that. Incredible.
Again, another reference to G2 at Santiago today. I just saw a Jogimo and Baby Bay cosplay there as it came out from the fast lanes. No guns getting picked out. Or being pulled out after Edith comes through, still stuck in the high gear. The other person can't really trade out, and it just becomes 2 easy kills for Sin inside that site. A small mistake there where that should have been an easy trade out and an open site for FlyQuest to take immediately. But thankfully, with the round that you just got from Blue Water, you're still able to have a really nice buy because you only lost 2 players in that previous round. FlyQuest, though, they don't want to slow down the tempo. They want to shut things down right away.
Oh, Avery has to react quick, and oh my god. Addison embraces them, gets in front of all the action, but FlyQuest is ahead of the action. Has now fully cleared out the site. They have control of main, and Thea will even extend outwards.
With Spike.
So May
didn't care.
Spike planted.
May 1 versus 2. Gonna be her jumping in, and as the Cravwell kind of screwed them up. Thea, a masterclass of the Astra, and FlyQuest will get up to 12. It is now 12-4. Apologies for the HUD mix-up there, but we got one more round potentially.
Yeah, you gotta at least respect the attempt there on slowing down that push from FlyQuest. Blue Water, what they did, I think it was a dart or a drone that spots Edith sliding down, so it allows the saturate to get thrown by Battison to protect the back of the site. But there's just too many players on the other side here running through that smoke, and Oasis wasn't really at that pit yet to trade off, or at least to spray through that. So unfortunately, they all got caught on immediate trades out of FlyQuest. And yeah, this is now map point 12-4. A different outcome and a different outlook from that first map for sure. Is what we thought. At least I thought Split should have been the most dominant map for FlyQuest at the very beginning. FlyQuest still continues to show why they're also a clean record on this map.
FlyQuest are so fast in these fights, and even off the info, the flash is so good from Jazzy, and now Battison falls, and Avery smoked off from a trade. Maybe try to linger, but decides to take the safer approach. There is no safe space to step on because Melia's on the prowl. Call it a hunt. Blue Water on the back foot, and Melia will just evacuate everyone with the lockdown. This is for the win for FlyQuest. Oasis and Sin don't even have the best spy. They just evaporate in thin air. 13-4 for FlyQuest. That is a statement to go to series point.
Such an annoying lockdown to deal with as well for the last 2 players. It was so deep towards the staircase that you couldn't even escape back towards the spawn. No choice but to run out, and you just get knocked down and knocked out for that second map. So for 2 teams where we preface going to the second map that it was undefeated for both Blue Water and FlyQuest, we definitely see now the level of comfort for FlyQuest on that map. So they defeat now Blue Water on that map. Now we get to a third one, and this is actually series point for FlyQuest. So